Guys, I just went through a gigantic growth spurt. Boo!
This is now the theme song, so enjoy the vibes. Hit like and subscribe, so live the life you live. Share with your many friends. Please take care from your friend nowadays. Alchemy, alchemy.
Hello, Alchemedians, and welcome to the second part to me explaining Danganronpa. Now, I am so ready to do this. Today, I'm going over the characters, the actors who play the characters, and the details about these characters, and how I voice these characters, because this is Danganronpa. Like I said, with so many silent bits, it's almost impossible to not give them voices of your own if you're playing. So, that's what we're going over today. Yeah, there's 17 characters, I believe, each with different voice actors. Well, there's some with the same voice actors, but we'll get over them when we can. And there's not going to be any spoilers for this video, because honestly the next video is probably going to go over way more spoilers than this one would ever do. I'll try to keep it best of not spoiling anything to the point of not spoiling anything. So I'm going to go over the characters again, the actors, and my voices for the characters, and explaining how each character's affects me in a general, like, personification of how I reacted to them. So please, if you want to see more Danganronpa content like this, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and share with your many friends about the fantastic world of Danganronpa. Now, shall we begin? Let's do this. As usual, I got my phone out to explain each character, and all set to describe each character to you. The first character, this little guy right here, as stated before, his name is Monokuma. He is the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, the principal, the coach, literally everything. He gathers everyone to the killing game, and he absolutely loves the idea of despair in general and how it works in everyone involved, which I honestly find such a fascinating thing about it, because it's like the main focus on the game is about hope and despair, and I think there's so much that can go into like a main source of action to a Danganronpa game. Like, if I were the headmaster of Monokuma does, I'd choose it out of creativity. I'd choose it like in a factor of there are so many creative aspects of everything in life. And frankly, the creativity of Danganronpa is what set me to love Danganronpa so much. He's very impartial with how things play out and watches everything behind the scenes of what everybody is doing. What do I think of him? I love this little guy. Because he is the mascot of Danganronpa. He sees when people are playing with him, and he sees when there's a time for him to arise. The fact that the perfect synopsis on this game revolves solely on him makes things so much fun to give merch just for Monokuma himself, because of how he is basically a mascot for Spike Chunsoft, for how big of a part Danganronpa plays on Spike Chunsoft too, which I love Spike Chunsoft. They didn't just make Danganronpa. It's just, bro, they put so much heart and soul into Danganronpa. And yeah, if you see Monokuma around, it's usually probably because it's a Danganronpa game, and you realize it's a Danganronpa game because Monokuma is around. Without a headmaster, a bunch of teenagers not knowing what to do and walking around going mad in what's going on. The reason he's there in the first place is to trigger off the despair inside the students. He's the black and white bear with the red eye and outward belly button, like this one right here. And probably the most recognizable character of all time when it comes to Danganronpa. Then again, with how good the characters are, really hard to forget any of them. I'd say with his malicious side and his cute side, they act as one of the same quarter. They're not really two different sides of what's happening. It says in the wiki, it's more of he's causing more despair by causing hilarity when most inappropriate. He gets bored of boredom and does things to lighten up the act of despair. He becomes upset when people start calling him out on things, but in the end, I know the headmaster in the background of the Monokuma machine to laugh it off anyway. It's even been told by the writers of Monokuma themselves that he was the easiest character to write. As he fears no repercussions, he's very comical act to the games as the games go on. But we're staying the start game of the franchise. He's pretty neutral with his comedy, of even when he does have some amazing quotes. I also wanted to point out he loves despair. He loves despair. I love despair. The fact that despair fits so well with despair, and the fact they made him a bear, I don't even know if they thunk about that or thunk all the way through that. But the fact that they did that, bro, makes me think that they thunk way beyond that. And also, I'm also going to show the beta designs of each character, probably right over here. Because there are some photos of what they look like before the game came out. Because they, of course, had some process of, deciding how they look as a character. Monokuma in his first beta design kind of reveal how much the writers were so not scared of the repercussions of the character by making his human, but one side of him was inside out as the style of the game changed, so has Monokuma turning him into a bear. Monokuma's name is also a thing I'm just gonna explain it, what their names mean. Is a mix between monochrome and meaning to black and white, and kuma, the Japanese word for bear. Some could say Monokuma and Billy from Saw share similarities. I can see, but as Billy loves people and only hurts people that hurt other people, Monokuma does it for himself for the sake of despair. And now we get into the voice actor part of this, where we go through Monokuma's voice actor, or whoever I'm talking about's voice actor, and going bit by bit of what he's in and what you'll find him in, and surprisingly what they're in. Where you find a voice actor in a different anime or voice actress in a different anime, and you're like, I would have never expected to be in that. His voice actor is the world famous, lovable, and very charismatic guy, Brian Beacock. And he is obviously Monokuma's voice actor. A lot of people who play in Danganronpa, voice acting. Also, a lot of people play in the show Blue Exorcist, which is strange, because that's the anime I'm watching now. By the way, just a little alert. This is not all they were part in. These are just most of the stuff that I know in general. So they could be in way more stuff that I just don't know because I haven't watched it. Monokuma here. Actually, Renzo. He's a pink hair guy. Is a major part of the series. which I would never have figured out that was Monokuma because, frankly, they don't sound anything alike. Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valencia, Luthier. Okay. And then his voice, again, which I'm going to go over right now. Now, I'm not gonna go over the quotes and stuff till the next video, since these are the most important to the story, so I will show my voice for each character. Monokuma is easy, since I feel like his voice is just so easy to replicate for me. I just reach up and scratch his voice and go insane. With it simple as that. Besides story stuff that happens, that's all you need to know about Monokuma. Also, he's kind of Western when I try to do him, because that's how most people do him, just Monokuma. Monokuma is such a good, well, not good, but like, I mean, good character. Well, he's not a good character, technically. He's way farther than a good character, but he is an amazing character, like, not personality-wise, but he's just amazing. He is just amazing. He represents such an amazing franchise, and I'm happy they gave this bear so much character. It's not even funny. Next character. And of course, again, I'm reading all this on my phone, so just bear that in mind. It's why I'm reading all the notes that I pre-wrote before I got through here. Next up is Makoto Naegi, the main character of Danganronpa. The ultimate lucky student, as he is prescribed, but in reality, he got accepted for the school when he was randomly picked to come to the school. Makoto is basically your average teen who kind of goes with the flow of what everybody else is doing, so he believes in societal norms more than anything. But honestly, it's something to respect out of Makoto, because I don't think it's spoiling to say that through the story he kind of grows out of that and makes him a better character all throughout. He is a protagonist of the story after all, and they did a really good job making his character grow through each thing that happens to him. He is notably short compared to his classmates. He has spiky brown hair with, as you will come to realize in more Danganronpa games, the famous ahoge, or however it's pronounced. You can tell me in the comments if you want. He wears black jeans, a zipped up hood, an opened up jacket with gold buttons, and red sneakers with white toes. Again, he is a very insecure soul that kind of changes through the story. The one thing that stays with him throughout the story, though, is his sense of optimism. He is really friendly and hears everybody out when someone needs to let something out. He can seem a bit jerkish in some of the quotes he says, but you come to recognize and hang with more people the less he makes fun of them for who they are. Like, in the beginning, he makes fun of my favorite character. He immediately just says, "This guy is annoying," like out of the blue, when my favorite character didn't even do anything to really need that. But then he grows to know him more, and he realizes why he is the way he is, and he starts understanding more, and I really love that. His design, according to the writer, was tough, since he didn't really stand out much compared to other people. According to the wiki, Makoto means faithfulness, and Naegi means seedlings. Makoto's voice actor is Bryce Papenbrook. He played a lot of Sonic. Actually, he played Sonic in Sonic Racing Crossworld, which is growing popularity more and more through the new characters that come through. Blue Exorcist Rin, which is crazy because he sounds nothing like Rin. But oh my gosh. Actually, no, he does sound a little bit like Rin, but you never guess based off the designs. But most Sonic games, he actually plays Silver. He plays Silver in most Sonic games, and that's surprising to me, because Silver and Makoto... Then again, I haven't really looked up much on Silver in general, so uh in My Hero Academia, he plays Yoshindo, which by the name itself doesn't sound like anyone. But I forget which season it was. I think it was like season 5. No, season 4. He shows up, and I swear, like the first thing I said was, "That sounds like Makoto," or another person that plays the same voice actor Makoto. But like, dude, like he didn't like really act like Makoto. He acted like somebody else who voiced Makoto, but also voiced another character in the Danganronpa series. I just found it insane that one anime, after like hearing the voice actor, like it's the similarities of being a small world. Fire Emblem Echoes Kumoi, Fire Emblem Heroes, Raven, Carol, Henry. In Beast Cool Scooby Doo, he's the line cook. In Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, he's Inky. And my voice for him. As for Makoto's voice, I just put my voice up an octave and just heighten my voice a little so it's not scratchy, but it's easy to pull off when I'm doing an entire run-through. Like, a little bit up, but not like up my neck, but more like up my tonsils a little bit. To really pull off his voice, I am the ultimate lucky student. Aoi Asahina, the ultimate swimming pro. A very sporty, highly energized, not blonde, but has the blonde type of personality. Like how people put in blonde type of girls in cartoons and stuff like that to be dumb and like not really the smartest of the group. Like, yeah, attractive, but honestly, she kind of guesses her way through the game, which I say is kind of her charm in a way that makes me want to cheer for her, because there are times you want to call her out on trials that makes you feel bad that she isn't correct. The one bad thing I can say about Aoi is that there are a few times Danganronpa likes to make certain characters that I absolutely hate. Well, not the characters themselves, just the personality type they give the characters, where I think they just try to make fun of the people that make the guys like extremely sexist to women. Those type where it's not true, but like they'll characterize them to make it seem like it's true because they're jerks. They do that with women in Danganronpa, and honestly, bro, I mean, I get why they like can do it, but like, man, it hurts. That doesn't mean doesn't hurt when it happens. And I believe these effects make them bad characters. I call them sexualized norm characters. Probably not what you think when I read that off. It's the type of character that thinks it's okay because they are females, that they have to throw out the male stereotypes out of nowhere. But I'd like to say for Aoi's case, she's safe. Only because she already doesn't know what she's talking about half the time. She's in the game anyway, and that's not me making fun of her. She has to literally trace people's name on her hand 3 times to remember their name. She was supposed to be a younger sister type, but apparently it looked too much like another character, so they had to redo some stuff. Her name stands for the sunny morning. Even in the worst circumstances, she is the shortest female in Trigger Happy Havoc. She can get annoying. Long story short, she can get annoying, but she has the good parts about her that honestly, she doesn't. I wouldn't say she grows as a character. I think she was just always a good character, like throughout. And she always tried to be a good character who just didn't know anything. That was like her trying to figure out how to do more things, and that was her whole point of the story. She didn't really know how to do anything, but she just kind of sat through the whole game just not knowing anything. And she was just happy at the end of the day to do what she wants. Aui's voice actress, Cassandra Lee Norris, who plays Galactica in Marvel Rivals. There's two people that she plays in Blue Exorcist, Noriko Paku, and Nee. You remember the little character, the main blonde girl, Summons? Name is Nee. That's who Aui's voice actor plays. MHA Kota Izumi, the little kid from season 3 that was first annoyed, but I won't spoil too much into those details in case you want to watch these shows and stuff like that, because I already watched MHA, not the last season, but I'm excited to because I heard a lot happens. Barbie 3 cartoons, Stacy, she plays a lot of Stacy in the Barbie shows. And trust me, as the person who grew up with 3 sisters, I've watched a lot of those. She plays, I didn't even know this, Sothis from Fire Emblem 3 Houses. And if you haven't watched 3 Houses yet, hit that like button and I might talk about it, because boy, that's a game I want to talk about. In Monster High, she plays Frankie Stein, which is also, I would have never guessed. That's insane how she goes from so many animated shows like Barbie and Monster High to this. That's insane.
Aui's voice is just a really high girl voice. I can really strain my voice sometimes, throat sometimes, but it's the kind of voice she would be doing, not even realizing it's too high for her octave.
Next character is Byakuya Togami, the ultimate affluent progeny. I like to describe this character as someone who you didn't know could have an arc, started one, and surprised to realize what you learned through him through the arc. The best way to say his arc without spoiling things is that he finds out he has emotions, and people can have emotions as well. He is the heir to the Togami family. He actually can't marry because his family partakes in monogamous relationships. And when I mean monogamous, his family just sleeps with every woman so they could just bear more Togami children. If you think that's inappropriate, that is legitimately like the reasoning that goes through the whole affluent progeny reasoning. Like, I honestly thought this was a spoiler type thing because like some parts of this being told is part of his story, but they honestly say that a lot in the game, so I wouldn't say it's spoiling. His name meaning White Knight, 10 gods, which could mean he is the White Knight of the very few powerful people in his family. Now, the very few, when I say that, just keep in mind the word few. I'm not going to say anything, but keep in mind the word few. Voice actor is Jason Wishnov. Amazing voice actor. He's in League of Legends Nocturne, and that's all I could find. For Byakuya's voice, I used my normal voice in the most serious fashion as he would do. Because, I mean, come on, he's the most serious guy when it comes to himself. Next up is Celestia Ludenberg, the ultimate gambler. Can also be referenced as the ultimate liar or ultimate Lolita because of her. Lolita clothing, to be perfectly clear. This has got to be one of my least favorite Danganronpa characters. Why, you may ask? One reason. She has anger problems, and those anger problems make it easy to decipher when she's lying because of the fact no matter what or how it happens, she's got to point out the most obvious thing that was already discussed and tries to continue that conversation to stop people from moving forward. And honestly, I get it's supposed to be annoying, but I'm pretty sure most people, when they realize she's talking about something random in a trial, she's stupid for even bringing it up. I'd even argue dumber than Aoi. But does that make her a character I hate in general? In all fairness, her plot in the story kind of fixes her up in a way that makes her more humanized as a character. And I love her whole thing that she's a Lolita girl who likes Lolita things. Celestia had a cat named Grand Boyd Sherry Ludenberg, which is very cute for a Lolita giant fluffy gray cat that looks like a godfather. I'll show the picture. Kind of funny. Her other design is about the same as the one we know today, as she always looked, Lolita. Her name in English means heavenly to play the mountain, as she is the best on the top of the roster when it comes to gambling. Like, it does, like, really make me mad when she's just spouting some random nonsense. She thinks she's smarter than everybody, and she just points out the one thing that she's wrong about. And then her actress is Marie Harrington, who plays Tilly Green from Big City Greens, which is very recent. So you should be able to recognize her voice actor if you just watch Big City Greens, because it's the girl with the buck teeth and the like neck to the neck hair. She's like one of the most popular characters from Big City Greens. Ever After High, she plays Brooke Page and Darling Charming. In Franklin, she plays the Otter. I will say,
I am very fond of her voice. I voice Celestia as shown in the game, a very light girl voice that comes off as frightening if you use it in a certain way.
I feel like that's perfect for her character. Chihiro, Ultimate Programmer. I'll say it. It is adorable, and is very shy meeting people, but always happy to meet new people. I think that's the only thing I can say before spoilers and backstory gets involved to different parts of the game. Just know, she's a very sweet soul and really good at coding. Chihiro's actress is Dorothy Elias Fawn. She plays Mercedes in Three Houses. She plays Lily in Leapfrog, which it's crazy because I could kind of see that. Digimon the movie, Tall's mom.
And I go, for Chihiro's voice, I go the highest octave I can go that's not reaching my girl octave. So I kind of go like this. Very much so.
Then we have Hifumi Yamada, the ultimate fanfic creator. I find this character very consistent. Some can say he's annoying, but if you pay attention to him through the story, he's the most referenced character you'll ever hear. He is also the most lewd character thinking-wise, but as this is a school that's trapped teenagers, that's kind of bound to happen to someone. His name means, come on everybody, guessed it, 1, 2, 3, mountain rice paddy. Which even through the things Hifumi has done in the game, I don't think that's very nice. As he can be very lewd and weird, I see this character as a mix-up as a lewd and weird character. And then half the game, he's just very chilled out, zoning out into his own land. I'll also say a lot of the jokes that is made with him involved has made me laugh all in all. For me, Hifumi's a mixed bag. He can make me laugh. He can make me like cringe at some things he says, but honestly, through what he has said and through the times he has made me laugh, there are times I believe in Hifumi's humor. His voice actor is Lucian Dodge. From Three Houses, he is Felix. Hifumi is Felix. Think about that. Felix is one of the strongest people in the Three Houses, and he has the blue hair. You would never guess that. Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures is Blinky. There's two people from Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. There's Inky and Blinky.
And of course, with Hifumi being the ultimate fanfic creator, I have given him a voice very befitting for that title I gave him. No, it-all type nerd voice that I sometimes get into character with, as I push up my glasses with sometimes. It's easier to get into character if you do certain actions.
Then we have Junko Enoshima, ultimate fashionista. I hate the way that I'm gonna describe her, but without providing spoilers. She is exactly the way she's portrayed as she looks, except the fact that most of the cover art looks nothing like her. So Makoto even gets sad about that. She is very much the high school popular girl, the one that goes whatever every 5 minutes, then goes on her phone. But I love the way she's portrayed to be so nice to Makoto in the game. Her voice actor is Amanda Celine Miller. Again, I'll put the picture of the voice actor near here when I can. Again, from Blue Exorcist, Yoshikuni. The voice I gave her is just a stereotypical type of mean girl talk you'd find in movies and such. But kind of in a male voice, but whatever. We have Kiyotaka Ishimaru, the ultimate moral compass, and I'd argue the best character in the game. He is just a generally all-around good person. That's what his ultimate talent is, so much so that other people find him annoying. How good he is, then again, I love this type of person in anime, who is hardworking and is upbeat, and all in all, it gets along with most people through the story. He has a good story all throughout the main story as well. He overreacts to everything as well, which is something that should make things easy to deduce when he's not the killer. Kiyotaka translates to a myriad pure summer stone perfection, which I'd argue makes more sense separately to reference all the stages of Kiyotaka's personality. His voice actor is Sean Chiplock. Blue Exorcist, Lewin Light. Again, a lot of Blue Exorcist people. In the amazing digital circus, he is Kinger. That's surprising, because that's one of the newest series ever. Now for the voice, I just yell for everything he says, as that is technically how he speaks. He needs to stand tall and have everyone listen to him after all. Because his mouth is so wide usually, because he's and he's just so open. His mouth is big too. But that's more because he needs to speak what he needs to say, because he is the ultimate moral compass. Kyoko Kirigiri, the ultimate question mark. Besides one chapter where she is extremely annoying, she is a character you have to find out about more and more. And it kind of leads to the assumption of what you think she is, but this is a spoiler-free zone, so I'm not going to say what it is. But she is the silent type that you have to find out about who she is. She's very unfazed by the events that occur. She was one of the most difficult females to make in Danganronpa art, as she was the monotone yet still had to pull off the Danganronpa color scheme. They were going for her name, meaning Echo, as she tends to be the show into perspective that she also knows what is going on, but she doesn't want Makoto to just have her spill the answers herself. And you know what? I will say one thing. Some may find it annoying that can happen, and honestly, I can see how you do that. But I don't think you'd have a game if she just already reveals everything all at once. So, or much less, she wouldn't really make it that much of a deducing game to show you all the answers. The voice actor is Erika Harlacher. again, guess which anime she's part of? It's Ao Hojo from Blue Exorcist. The Promised Neverland, she is Mark and Nina. Her voice is a very simple tactic I use Byaku's voice, but make it more like I'm slightly yelling, but not quite. I'm kind of like deducing everything because of what I kind of do in the game. Kind of like that. Oh, so you don't believe in friendship? That's kind of one of the things she says is pretty cool. Again, I'll say more like stuff during like spoiler stuff in probably the next 4 episodes I'm doing of this. Then we have Leon Kuwata. Remember Maddie, who I brought up in a video one day? This is his favorite character. And let me just read you his description. Ultimate baseball star. He's a great character that really resembles and questions how ultimate talents work, as he is the most professional baseball star. He doesn't really want to be, as he wants to be the ultimate punk star, but can't run from his fate. He was actually the first person to be assigned as a character, and the first one to give multiple expressions. His name means cunning, kindness, mulberry field. The field probably having to do with baseball. Cunning kindness has to do with his attitude in general in a mulberry field, which could represent his intent deepness within himself. The voice actor is Grant George and plays Ant-Man in most Marvel stuff. And Ant-Man is my favorite superhero in general. Well, superhero in the Marvel Universe. And the fact that he plays my favorite superhero and also he's one of my best friends' favorite characters in Danganronpa, it fits hand in hand. Ever After High, he is the Hunter Henchman. Detective Pikachu, he's Simon.
I gave Leon a cool kid's voice to really differentiate his sound, trying to sound like he is the kid who's too cool to act like the others. I also love that they gave him, as I love about Danganronpa. Even though they have their own set of voices, you could give people the personalities you desire by setting their voice.
Then we have Mondo Owada, ultimate biker gang leader. Swears in every sentence he speaks, but also one of the most coolest guys in the game, as he swears, rides bikes, keeps promises, and loves dogs. He was raised to never lay a hand on a woman, which is respectful, and rides with his gang, the Crazy Diamonds. He could have looked way different than what we got with him, as he could have had more spikes in his hair, and he could have had hair that was straight up a gun. His name means Big Rice Field of Peace, and he never sought to ever hurt anyone for any reason, besides the people that killed people already. He's trying to act in self-defense a little bit. That comes to mind. Also, his hair is also called a pompadour. He can become easily aggressive and very easy to provoke. If aggressive too much, he could definitely hurt someone, even with what his name implies. As someone who didn't know what his hair was called when I saw it the first time, I immediately looked it up, and I immediately saw like gameplay of people playing it. It's a pompadour. He's played by Keith Silverstein. He plays Vector the Crocodile in most of the Sonic games. In Blue Exorcist, of course, why not? He plays Yaoza Shima. In WarioWare Move It, he's the narrator. Mondo's the narrator of WarioWare Move It. Not surprised. And in Pokemon Evolutions, he's Professor Oak, which is insane to think about, because, I mean, Mondo and Professor Oak were voiced by the same person in a Pokemon game. That's insane. In Super Smash Ultimate, he was Simon Belmont, which is quite insane. Yeah. In Spider-Man, he was Hammerhead, the Spider-Man video game. And Lego's Marvel's Avengers, he was Moon Knight.
Here's a strong, deep, nasally type of guy who yells everything he speaks. So, of course, that's the type of voice I gave him, motherfucker.
Sakura Ogami, the ultimate martial artist, is the extremely buff and neutral girl who won't pick up a fight unless her friends are in danger. She's determined to be the strongest there is throughout the story. She's a very reasonable soul who works out, and even though she sounds like she can never hurt a soul, she gets mistaken for a guy multiple times, and she always usually makes other people terrified unknowingly. She had black hair with hair ties, while Sakura hasn't been known to have anything to do with her. Ogami means large deity, which is in reference to her large build. She is played by Jessica G. George, and she is Aoi's best friend in the game, and it's pretty cute. Jessica G. George played Fire Emblem in Three Houses Cornelia, who I have not met. Wait, maybe I have. I'm getting mixed up on a little bit of Three Houses, but again, there'll be a picture of Cornelia. Fire Emblem Awakening, she's Pan. For Space Chimp, she plays the ship's voice in Space Chimps, which is a weird, most out-of-pocket, this is who the person voiced.
For her voice, I kind of made her voice a little bit higher, but more cracked so that it matches the sound of what she sounds like in the game. Honestly, this is kind of what she sounds like. It kind of sounds like Leon, but she's more deep. She's more of a deeper person because, it kind of sounds like this in the game.
Next up is Sayaka Mizono, the ultimate pop sensation. A girl Makoto has known as they went to the same school together, and she is frequently telling him that she's psychic and knows more of what's going on than he thinks. She's always had the dream to become the ultimate pop sensation and tried to make that dream a reality by any means necessary. She has been used as the game's basic frame of girl, and her emotions showed more personality than her clothing. Sayaka Mizono means bright garden, as that is what Makoto thinks of her. Now, I will say one thing about Sayaka. She has an annoying part of her story. And it kind of goes to the end of her story. I'm not going to tell you what it is to not spoil the game for anybody. But it's quite annoying. Her voice actress is Dorothy Elias Fan, who I already named off the people for her, and Chihiro's voice actress. Which is pretty weird that Chihiro's voice actress and Sayaka's voice actress are the exact same. Because they don't sound that much alike.
The voice I gave her was the highest of my voice range, as she could probably sing very high, knowing she is the ultimate pop sensation. As I try to do this with, Owie, and I know this sounds very alike, but Owie's a little bit softer, as I do this for Sayaka because she is such a bright, brilliant personality. Boy, what a tongue twister.
Toko Fukuwa, the ultimate writing progeny. Probably my favorite female in the game. She does not like people and talking to people at all, but she has an obsessive crush on Byakuya. I swear, they give her some of the best lines in the game. She becomes extremely important the more the game goes on. She is usually one to pick fights in the trials because she believes nobody trusts her in trials, even though that output might make others not believe you. She's also extremely nervous around blood. She is also believed to be the main designer of the game, Rui I'm gonna mess up this name. Rui Kamatsuzaki, favorite character, and I see why for how involved she is in the plot. She is the favorite character of one of the directors in Danganronpa, and I don't blame them. I love I love Toko. Toko is great. Her voice actor is the same as Junko's. Honestly, that's not that surprising since, I mean, for her, I kind of go like this with her voice. Because, I mean, not Toko, but, Junko. Because, why not? For her, I gave her a little more stuttery voice because that's what she kind of does through her dialogue. So I was like,
The voice I gave her is a very jittery girl voice that makes her sound like the most repulsive animal she is willing to make herself believe.
And next up is Yasuhiro Hagakure, the ultimate clairvoyant, the chillest person in the game that usually gets blamed for literally everything because of how much he doesn't really do in the game. Though he is one of the chillest people in the game and even gives good content for people to rely on. Plus, he's a character I believe Danganronpa made just so nobody believes him because of the fact he's the ultimate clairvoyant. He has crazy locks that make him look like a porcupine. Not much is said about him on the wiki, but he is probably the game's slowest character as he can't keep up with most trials he's in. But honestly, some characters have those bad flaws just to realize that's their character, and they deserve to be noticed as a character for that reason. His voice actor is Keiji Tang and plays Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 1. He was also Detective Pikachu in Detective Pikachu, which, I mean, they sound the same, but you would never guess that. Yeah, I gave him a surfer-like vibe kind of thing with his voice. He is kind of gnarly with his vibes. He's creating. I kind of also made his voice deeper because I give someone in another game a lighter, more calmer type of voice. And that was it. Frankly, I'm surprised how many people that were in here that were also in things like Blue Exorcist and Detective Pikachu and MHA when some of the characters don't really sound like their counterparts. There wasn't many spoilers in this video, but trust me, the next one will have spoilers. I can promise you that. If you couldn't already tell, I read this off a Wikipedia page for Danganronpa and then the IMDb page for each actor. And those were just some examples. There are way more characters that are in games and shows like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Persona, more Fire Emblem AI. But I just haven't played or watched them yet. But let me tell you, as I said before, Danganronpa did their work to get the best of the best of the best in the field. These characters are awesome, and yes, just naming these characters off, I can't even describe them in full detail, as that will spoil everything. Tune in next time where, again, there will be spoilers. As I will be saying out loud the characters and the story, which each of these characters, what I think of each character during the story, and the quotes I'll be voicing each character for. And what I think about the quotes. Again, this game means so much to me that I want every single detail to be revealed. But if you want to do your own run-through of Danganronpa, please do. It's a fantastic game, and I love playing it at times I did. And I'm even spreading it around to my friends to show off the good nature of the game. I love this game. I hope you like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. As I made a list of what I want to share with you guys. The next thing I'll be sharing with you might not be as long, but it's the story and like the characters through the story and the quotes. I will be speaking in their language and their voices that I put in that you already know. So, Monokuma, will you do the honors?
Certainly. Thank you all comedians for watching this video. Take care. Love y'all.